So last thing I want to talk about in these notes is just, I want to talk about, first of all, what makes something really acidic, or what makes something basic, or even neutral. And then we'll finally finish up with some properties, just so we can tell the difference between them. So it turns out the real thing that you use to determine whether something is an acid or a base is the balance between hydronium and hydroxide. So again, hydronium is H3O+, hydroxide is OH-. So in an acid, it turns out that the concentration of hydronium, H3O+, is greater than the concentration of hydroxide. And in a base, it turns out it's just the opposite. The concentration of hydronium is less than the concentration of hydroxide. So it's really the hydroxide that makes things basic. If you have an overabundance, or if you have extra hydroxide, it's basic. If you have extra hydronium, or more hydronium than anything else, it's acidic. So what's a neutral? Well, neutral is when you have a hydronium concentration that is equal to a hydroxide concentration. And we've already mentioned this earlier, so just kind of repeating ourselves. Now, as I said, the final thing I want to talk about are the properties. First thing is we have the taste properties, and I know we typically don't taste things in a lab, but acids are sour things, so we saw that on the list. Things like lemon juice, orange juice, lime juice, okay, sour type things. Bases, on the other hand, are bitter, so things like soap and baking soda, they have a bitter taste to them. Neutral, it's just going to taste like water. Okay. Other things. Acids are known as being corrosive. What does that mean? Well, it means they react with metals. So W/ just means with. They react with metals, okay, to produce, or basically dissolving them. We'll narrow it down to that. Dissolving the metal. So in other words, if you took an acid and poured it down your pipes of your house, it would eat through the pipes. Okay, acids have the ability to dissolve metals. So they're sour, they're corrosive, okay, which means they react with metals. They also will react with skin as well, but typically we look at them as being able to react with metals. Bases, on the other hand, are caustic. So they're not corrosive, they are caustic. Caustic substances react with organic materials, not metals. Okay, for whatever reason, when I go down to the bottom of my screen, my pad just does not want to come out clearly. But anyways, so caustic means they react with organic materials, not metals. So this is the reason why Drano, which is a base, is used in pipes, because it's caustic. It's not going to react with the metal of your pipes, but it will break down the organic materials, the orange peels, the hair, the soap, whatever it is that is clogging your drain, it will react with those and break them down or dissolve them. Okay. The last little property I want to point out is in a neutral solution. Let's say you had acids and bases and you wanted to neutralize them, so you're going to combine them in equal amounts or equal concentrations. It turns out that neutral solutions, if it's neutralized, will typically be water plus salt. So that's only if you were to neutralize the solution. So I took equal amounts of acid and base and I combine them together, you end up with water and salt. Okay, now that's the end of our notes for 6-2. Make sure that you complete your whisk, and then go ahead and I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, don't forget your hot questions either. So come up with a question from this video or create a test or quiz question that you think would be good.